Hello, hello, welcome guys. Come on in. How's everyone doing? Who is back with us? Welcome to our session of Write With Me the Right Way. Write with me, plan with me the right way. I just did writing. Why not, right? How are you guys doing? Come on in. Who is ready to take a look at last week and figure out what went right, what went wrong, and what we fixed along the way? Elizabeth, hello, hello. I hope everyone got a wee break there. We had about 45 minutes, so that was nice. Hey, Tatum, welcome. Ah, so how did last week go for you guys? Without looking at anything, how do you think it went for you? Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, Stephanie. I took an unplanned nap. Ah, it's the season for it. You need to be nice and warm and snuggly, right? Okay, guys. How do you think last week went? Crystal, hey, hey, hey. Rita, hello. For me, we did end up having COVID. That did happen. I am very, very happy to that it was kinder than I thought it was gonna be. That's good. That's why I'm here. A couple days kind of were not great, but that's okay. I'm here. I'm functioning. And I did get some stuff done this week. The key one that I was probably the most proud of is I got to revamp our planning a little bit here. As I'm trying to kind of work out how to put a planner together for it, I'm seeing where things can be improved. So as I'm kind of making little tweaks here and moving things around, it's the same information, but I'm finding there are stronger ways to present the information and for them to help support each other as the system goes through. Let's see. Stephanie, I've gotten more done today than I did last week. Hurry up. I got a little bit of writing done, more than I thought. That's just good. Not to say that it was gobs, but I got more than I thought. And I got, like I said, I got to deal with the planning stuff, which made me happy. What else did I get to do? And most of it, all the things that had to happen did happen. So I gave that a big check mark too, which made me feel good. Phyllis, hello, happy Sunday. How's it going on? Okay, let's dive on in. Let's pull out last week's plan and see what you guys did. And we'll start working through that. And I've got my pages started for this week as well. The planner is starting to kind of become a little more something. I'm not ready to share yet because it's definitely a prototype and it's definitely not, it's not there yet, but I'll get there. All right, guys, let's dive in. Okay, so let's find me here. I want to be able to do checks and all that. Okay, let's dive in, guys. So let's plan the right way. Why do we plan? For direction, focus, balance, to reduce stress and to measure progress. And really, at the end of the day, because our lives are not perfect, we do not have control of every moment, wish we did. It helps us to have a plan in place for when interruptions do happen, that we can get back to what we were doing and get things done, right? Because we have it worked out. We know what we're going to do, what we want to do. Hey, Sherry, good evening. Hello, hello. So you're the hero of your own story. So let's turn a page and write it. First, we're going to start with just some strategies that we can use to get us very much into the mindset of planning. These, I call them scenes, but these are basically the building blocks that we're going to use to create our plan. So a definition of a scene is a section where there is action. Very important. We are going to take action. We are going to get things done. We are going to move things forward. We may not get 100% of it done. We may only get 50% of it done, but there will be action. So we have a beginning, middle, and end, and we move the story forward. We're moving our story forward. Hey, RC. Rita, my dad was visiting, but I was expecting things to change. I got some edits on my phone and printed off a few chapters of Witches of Solace. Lots of quiet time and family time too. That sounds lovely. Sounds like a good, quiet, nice family time week, right? Which is good. You need those. Okay, guys, for clarity, we're going to do, one of our strategies is going to be clarity. What do we want to achieve? Why do we want to achieve it? And the most important is how are we going to achieve it? This is where we're going to enter the trials, where this is our try fails. Not everything we do is going to work for us, but we're going to try some different strategies and see what works. Some of them will definitely resonate with us and others will not. And we take what works and we just adjust and change and try new things until we find a series of things that are going to work for us as individuals. Okay? SMART goals. We want them to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. We want to be intentional about our time. We want to be honest about our time. We very often put on way more on our plate than we can achieve. It's a very normal thing because we want to do all the things. But we're human and we have to realize that a good portion of our time is already spoken for as well. So we're going to be honest with ourselves, and that way we can be successful and happy. Do you want to be doing this right now? Sometimes we put something on our plate that we're not really in the right season for it. Those are the things we may want to delay or even delete because they're not serving us. Target dates. Time required. When we're dealing with target dates, it's to give our plan hey Elaine, we're giving our plan a point, a focus point, so that we do not have a continuous sense of time, because then we'll never achieve it, right? But if we know we want to get this first draft done in 60 days, well, then we know we're working toward it for 60 days. If we don't give that date, we could be working on it for years. And we're trying not to do that. We're trying to make sure that we're giving our time shape and focus. So you want to have a completion date in mind. You want to schedule it. You want to have daily and weekly goals as you break things down smaller and smaller. A weekly check-in just to make sure to see how you're doing. Some weeks will be great, some weeks will not. And we learn from that. You make adjustments accordingly and you refocus as you need to, right? And then finally, actions. These are all the ones that we're going to be used probably the most to break things down and make them into daily bites that we can handle, that we can take on, that we can check off. So natural next task steps, measured increments, that could be word count, that could be time, that could be whatever you need it to be, whatever, it depends on what the activity is, right? In our writing, we definitely will use word counts and we will definitely use timers in terms of number of Pomodoros, or just setting a timer and saying we're going to write for 2 hours today, whichever works best for you. Your good, better, best goals, micro steps, breaking it down smaller and smaller, making it achievable and non-intimidating. Things you can delegate, things you can delete. And we're always kind of looking ahead to see if there's any problems or delays that are coming our way and how we're going to manage those, because we don't want them to derail us. We want to manage them. So yeah, they're coming our way. We have to send the book off to an editor, but that editor said they're going to do it in a month. They take 2 months. You're going to manage that by maybe some extra emails and maybe just getting started on another project while you wait, right? This editor's worth it, right? Okay, guys, backstory. We're going to get into our review of last week. Backstory, a set of events that have occurred before the main story. So what we're going to plan is the main story, but we want to take a look back and see what's happened. Reflection, celebrate our successes and our gold star moments. I literally am going to order some gold stars. I really want them. I want to put them in my planner. And then we're going to analyze our challenges, our biggest fixes, and our biggest distractions and our best fixes, so that way we're learning from what we're getting done, and we can analyze and see why did we only get 50% of that done. Oh, that's because that was a much larger task than we thought, right? And we're giving ourselves, we're seeing on the page what it is that is working for us and what isn't. And we're acknowledging that, which is important. To be continued, what needs to be continued or carried forward? How much did you accomplish? Give yourself points for that. What else needs to be done? This is that little point form list, right? You may not have gotten it all done, but you know there's only 2 more things left, and then you can figure out, is that going to take the same amount of time as the first bit, or can you maybe add something to that, being realistic? Let's see, and is this project bigger or more complex than you thought? All right, guys, let's get our timer out. I've got my planner pages out from last week. And I'm just going to go through and do some check marks, but I'm also going to try to use a fresh page here where I'm going to actually rewrite the things that my gold star moments and have like a nice clean copy of it. Okay, guys, and go. Hmm. How did you guys do? Elizabeth, I didn't get a lot done last week due to having a sinus infection, and that is perfectly understandable. I didn't get as much done because of COVID. Um, like I said, luckily it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still, it interfered. But I was very happy to, I'm celebrating the subplot that came about from this other character that actually enriches the story very nicely. She wasn't necessarily planned, but she suddenly appeared on the page, and I love what she does for the story. HB90, I still haven't done it, but then I've been sick, so I'm going to forgive myself that. I'm going to spend this week doing it, I think. Maybe if I do a quick version of it. I don't know how deep I'll go because I'd like to hit the ground running, but the reality is September didn't work. We're going to just pretend it didn't happen. And it interfered my steps too. That made me mad because I had a really nice rhythm going there. And I did not purchase my course yet because I'm kind of arguing with myself. I wanted an in-person class and they don't exist. So the reality is, do I want the course? Do I want the material? Or do I want the social aspects of being in a classroom? And I have to make up my mind on that. because I don't think it can be that class. That would be a person. So it would have to be something else. So I think I should just take my editing course and find something else that I want to take in person. Let's see. Stephanie, I didn't get a lot done last week because I was procrastinating. Why the procrastinate though? What's holding you back, hon? Elaine, I got a book edited and another one almost finished, but I had to push the pre-order date a bit later because it was more complex than I thought. Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's good. See, that is, you're seeing it and you're realizing that it needs more time because it is a bigger, richer project, right? Elizabeth, I will continue this rewrite and finish the first chapter of the rewrite and then restart chapter 2. Nice. Tatum, I am starting fresh this month. New project, new plan. Love that energy. Okay, guys, we're going to dive into our next panel. Reluctance. What are you avoiding? Why? Is it fear that's holding you back? I know for me that, like I said, the one, why didn't I not pay for the class and just start it? Because I've got this silly idea in my head that it has to be in person, and that's not helping me. It's not serving me. But do you think I saw that originally? I had to think about that and process what's holding me back. Does it still matter? If it does, if it doesn't matter, delete it, get it out of your life. Don't worry about it. If it does matter, break it down, make it priority number 1, schedule it, and get it done. Phyllis, great week. Made progress on my manuscript, 3,000 plus words yesterday. Very nice. Updated writing Kanban and plan. Sweet. Well done, girl. Okay, let's dive in and let's do a little analyzing as to what we're avoiding, why, and what we're going to do about it. And go. Well, that would basically okay. Let's see, what did you come up with here? Um, Phyllis, I was avoiding sorting my closet and shredding some documents. I tackled it today. Very well done. Going to schedule the file cabinet sorting for later this month. Love that. Elaine, avoiding moving my art team to a new email list because it's going to be a PETA. I love that, but I also need to do it today, so I will be doing it today. Also, Tax, you've got this, son. You had a tight deadline. Take a deep breath. You're kind of at a reset point, and just take stock of what has to get done, and then the sort of the medium things, and then you can get back into the flow, right? Stephanie, I'm avoiding my website. I need to do all the content for it, and it is all very hard to do. Do you have Is there anyone in your family who is good and techie and could assist with said website? Who might be a little more familiar? Maybe even if they created a simple one, it might be helpful. Elizabeth, I have fallen into the trap of overthinking and I'm determined to break away from this problem. Hear ya. That's what I think of the class. I was overthinking it like, oh, I could find one. No, I've looked. There isn't. Tatum, I had been afraid of writing, afraid of it not being any good, that I wasn't good enough, forgetting that it doesn't have to be perfect. Exactly. Get it down. Editing you, future you, fixes it. Creative you just gets it on the page, gets it out of your head and onto paper so you can have it somewhere in a form that there is something to work on later. And you don't even necessarily know until you've written it what you have entirely, because stories kind of grow and they change. So give yourself permission to just be on the page. Candace, I'm afraid of marketing. Take one tiny piece of marketing because it's such a vast subject, and try one thing, one little thing. You can look up videos for it, whatever, just one little piece of the puzzle. Do not try to understand it all because it's enormous. Give yourself space on. Space to grow and space to learn. Stephanie, well, I have a developer, but I still have to write all about myself with a bio, write the SEO. It's so much. Again, break it down, little pieces, and it can be very uncomfortable to do that bio because we don't usually write about ourselves. Maybe ask family and fellow writers what they would say about you, just as a jumping off point, and see what comes back, right? Maybe they could surprise you with something that they like about your novels, or they could have something that they like about your process that you might be able to incorporate, right? Elizabeth, I realized last week that I have to be okay with not knowing every detail of the plot before writing it with this rewrite, and I can edit it later if I'm wrong in some place. Exactly. I will get this rewrite done before January is over, although I'd like to finish the rewrite by the end of December if it's possible. You could do this. You're so welcome, Stephanie. And just give yourself, reach out, use the community, right? For sure. All right, guys, this is one of the changes I've made here. I moved some stuff around because I realized that this area here kind of works better as a framework, and that is taking up a lot of space, and I kind of knew it was going to do that to me. Can I move you down? I'm not sure where to put that. I'm going to have to work on where that one's going to sit because it's very long and it needs to be that big. Okay, story beats. I moved this one because these are very important sort of larger scale things that I was kind of oversimplifying, and I didn't want them to be simplified. I want them to be what they need to be. So let's see, Rita, kitchen cupboards in my closet, maybe formatting for Lear in ebook and paperback, and spending more time in Canva for other stuff than simple Instagram posts. Yeah, it's such a vast, beautiful program. Have fun with it. All right. Okay, guys. So story beats. The frame over which you drape your plot. And I moved this one over because I felt like if I actually looked at the definition of story beats, this is from medium.com. Story beats refer to your story's structure, timing, and pacing. Does this sound like something that we could use in our lives, guys? They are the frame over which you drape your plot. Plot points are events in your story that align with the story beats. So I feel like this needs to come forward before we do the plotting, because we need to know that frame. We have to have a better idea of what the time looks like that we have before we can go adding everything to it, right? All right, guys. Our first one is our care days. I tweak this a little bit too. We have our wellness sick days, which I did not consider. I thought I would lose a few days in the basically beginning of September when school went back in for my daughter. And I was wrong. Oh my. There's too many things out there right now jumping around and making people sick, and I did not take into account the severity of them or the fact that how much my immune system had kind of gotten protected in the summer months, and I wasn't ready, and I did not plan accordingly. Your mental health days, guys, your buffer reset days, I kind of see them very similar, so I put them together because I see a buffer day as in get all the stuff done, and I see a reset day as kind of more of now I've completed this huge thing and I sort of have to get back. So either one is kind of is sort of a cleanup time to get all those little boxes checked. So I put them together. Low energy days, they are always try to have a low energy task list. That way, when you're not feeling it, you can still get A, B, and C done, right? And celebration days, which I absolutely love, because we, I don't know about you guys, but even on celebration days, oh, I'll get some running in, I'll get this in. No, no, it's a celebration day. It's a day for special events, special get-togethers, and that takes extra time, and you want to be able to give your time to that, right? So schedule in your mental health and sick days. If you don't need them, they become bonus days. And the other ones, make sure you kind of scatter them in your plan so that when you need them, they're sort of already there, right? Face it, if you don't need a low energy day, again, it's bonus, right? Let's see, Elizabeth, yes, I've had so much happen for a while and got frustrated with so still having a problem from the sinus infection. Oh yeah, this morning I wrote some things down in my journal that I want to do at some point in my life. I love that. Looking forward. Beautiful. Okay, guys, so we are going to get our planner. Oops, what did I do here? I did give myself, okay, here we go. So I'm going to switch pages here. So let's figure out how much time is there anyone around you that is sick right now? Do you maybe want to think in terms of maybe giving yourself a couple days for sick days because of that? Is there something really pressing or toxic that you're going to have to deal with this week? Give yourself those mental health days to either deal with it or recover from it. Do you need a buffer or reset day to get some certain things done and off your plate so that you can start fresh for the month? Where does your low energy day fit? If you're going to take one of those, and celebration, is there anything amazing happening this week? Let's get it as part of our plan and actually define it and go. Let's see. All right, what did you come up with? Elizabeth, it helped me to feel calmer since months from now things better in my life. That is so true. Definitely. I agree with that, hon. It's just, this is the moment You got to do everything to get your body healthy and happy again and well. Give yourself the rest you need, the time you need, and get better. Okay? Okay, guys, what did you come up with? I determined that one of the things I need to reset is I need to get my HP90 planning done. So I'm going to, I think, lighten my load on Monday in terms of some of the creative stuff to get that done. I'm hoping I can do it. If I focus heavily on that on Monday and Tuesday, I think I can get that done and have a solid plan, even if I don't get the post-it notes done. I think I can at least get a list written out and I can make the post-its as I go. The post-its take quite a bit, so that I'm going to kind of move with that. I mean, I have some that I can kind of reuse, but other than that, I think I can get this done. Sherry, I will have to watch the rest on replay. Have to run. Thank you. You have a great day, hon. Thank you for hanging out. Elaine, I am needing some rest days soon, but it's hard to take more than 1 or 2 just because October is so busy. Happily, November will be quieter. But do take a little bit of rest because you don't want burnout, hon. So there's no point in losing October and November. Take a little bit of time for yourself. Rita, I got a couple of teeth pulled last week, so I'm still healing. So I expect some low energy days ahead and Thanksgiving for next Sunday. Exactly. Yeah, I have a strata meeting I got to deal with. So I got Thanksgiving and then I got to deal with the strata meeting. Let's see, Elizabeth, the rest of this year is going to be quite busy for me. I'm not going to procrastinate on things anymore. Beautiful. Elaine, I did take yesterday mostly off. Well, that's good. That's good. You get a couple more of those and you'll start to feel sort of more centered and back, right? Okay, guys. Next panel is our major conflicts. This is our breaks and routine. Now, these are dates we most likely know. And I decided this panel should come sooner because instead of looking at it as an afterthought, I think it's more proactive if we look at it ahead of time and then we create our other plan around it, knowing what's coming at us. So these are vacations, holidays. For Canadians, we have Thanksgiving. For what do you guys have something in October too, don't you? Let's see. That I cannot recall. Let's see here. No, you don't have anything for October. Okay, so Canadians have Thanksgiving. You guys have for November. You guys are going to have Veterans Day and you're going to have Thanksgiving. So kind of thinking in terms of, are those going to be family, any big family events coming? We're going to be doing extra cooking, cleaning, sending out of invitations or anything like that. These things we want to kind of get back together. Oh, is it Thanksgiving in October? Canadian thing. Canadian. Scratch his head in America. I'm happy for Thanksgiving. So any surgeries? Usually those are scheduled. They're not usually surprises. Conferences, renovations. So we're going to look at the bigger picture items and we're going to get them written down. Even if today we just get a date down. Then we can kind of start processing what that's going to look like. Because if it's a vacation or holiday, maybe we want to be able to relax and participate and enjoy. If it's a surgery, we want to be able to recover and relax while we're doing that and hopefully not have anything too taxing. If it's a conference, there's going to be prep time before and there's going to be a reset after because we're going to be out of routine, right? And renovations, well, those are their own little darling. Those can take quite some time to get done, and they will disrupt your life during that. And what are your strategies going to be for that? Okay, guys, so today the most I'm asking is just to get them written down and get those dates down so you see what's coming at you. And then we can start strategizing and kind of thinking in terms of how we're going to manage these things. Okay, guys, and go. Please. Okay, let's see. Elizabeth, I have to go to the phone store tomorrow. The power button on my phone moved, and now I can't use it. Ooh, that's not good. I could turn the phone on via plugging in the phone or plugging an audio cord into the headphone jack of my phone. Ooh, that's not a happy phone. I have an old phone that works, so I'll have my number transferred to the old phone and buy a phone case for it. There you go. Perfect solution. I like that. Rita, back to library programs. 3 half days this month, plus a meeting. Still need an agenda. I can't wait for the renovations for our place. Honestly, hubby's been talking for years about his plans. Ooh, now that's exciting. Chaos while it's happening, but that is very exciting. Okay, guys. We're going to look in terms. This one I also moved because the storyboard to me, we kind of have an idea of the days that we are pulled out of our homes and away from our creative projects. So we have our full days, which are usually, the regular work schedule, 9 to 5 or wherever it lines up for you. And the other things that go with that, commuting, etc., right? Your half days is which are you have at least a good chunk. I'm going to define this with you have about maybe 4 hours that you have control over. Pinch days are those super crazy busy days in which everything is already too busy and life throws in a few wrenches. Chaos ensues, but we have to survive them because these are things that have to happen. Life task days can be your errand days, your house cleaning days, just the things that are kind of keep your environment functioning. So basically for those ones, if you're running errands, try to start with your furthest place out and come back and into towards home, and that way you're not doing a lot of back and forth. Saves on gas, saves on time, and hopefully will allow you a little bit of time to actually still do your creative projects. And then true days off. Give them to yourself occasionally so that you can appreciate your writing time and you can just relax and really just take a breath, sit back, enjoy. Elaine, my partner, has a doctor's appointment I have to take him to because he's not allowed to drive after, but apart from that, I think I'm good. Perfect. Elizabeth, I plan to write 1,000 words each day, Monday to Saturday, and I have 6,000 words written in total this week. Oh, love that. Very nice. So for this one, I'm just going to do a quick, I'm just going to write it down as the initials for Monday through Sunday and give them a loose definition of what I know is coming at me so that I can put these in a place and kind of give a little shape to the week before we actually head into our projects and the other planning. Okay, and go. This is Okay, how did that go for you guys? Is that easier? I kind of went with just what I know. This is, of course, going to be subject to change. If I start figuring out that there's more yet that I want to do, I will adjust it. But for now, it's nice to see that quick overview. And it's not even on the calendar yet. It has just its own little section. And it's designated according to what I see. And of course, subject to change always. Which one was your pinch day? Do you guys have a pinch day this week? I am debating on whether Tuesday is going to be one. Given that we have, oh, I didn't know that about that. I have to figure out how I'm going to make that work. Okay, threw a wrench into my own plan. All right, guys, we're going to dive on into our next section. This is the stuff that's usually what we usually deal with, and then we try to kind of pull that other stuff in. This time we're going to, now that we kind of have the bigger picture, now we're going to narrow in our focus. Let's see here. And these guys here. Okay. So, stage 4, plotting. Series of related events making up a story. The basic elements of story are setting, the where, the characters, the who, how many characters are in your life. The plot is the what, which really, face it, is the easy part. That's the piece that we have control over. Whether or not we get to do it or not, that's the story. Conflict is usually the setting or the characters getting in the way of the what. And then finally, the resolution is our goal and what we would like to achieve this week. Let's see, Elizabeth, I want to write 25K words in total this month and then continue this rewrite in front of NaNoWriMo and then write 25K words in December and 100K words before New Year's Day. Ooh, love that. That is beautiful. All right, guys. So quarterly focus, Q4. Now, as I said, I have not done my Q4 planning, but I do know some of the things that I want to have in my Q4 planning. So I may just hit high notes today, and I don't have the breakdown yet, but that's okay because I can hit the high notes, and then Monday, Tuesday, I can hopefully work out the plan and I can get more detailed. So what's new to Q4? Have any new opportunities come along that have changed your plans a little bit? How are you adjusting for that? And is there any prep or research that you're doing in preparation for Q1 or Q2? Anything you're kind of learning about so you can execute in Q1 or Q2? Anything you wanted to reduce, remove, or delay that you thought about you were going to do and you realize that is more than you can take on, right? So let's make our little list of that and go. Okay. Um, my Q4 is similar to what I had for Q3, except for the editing course. And I should get Preptober in there actually too. That's one thing I forgot. And Preptober would be for new project. Get that down there too. That will definitely be part of that. Phyllis just updated my Q4 plan. I have added NaNoWriMo and Preptober to my plan. Beautiful. Elaine, I want to do a bunch more learning via the courses and books I've bought over the years, so I'm making that a specific Q4 project. Oh, love that. Stephanie, woo, go Elizabeth. That's awesome. I agree. Elaine, I need to think about my Preptober too. Yes. Elizabeth, thanks, Stephanie. Stephanie, I did my Preptober stuff last nano, actually got the outline written. Oh, that's very cool. All right, guys, our next panel is the one that's pretty easy for most of us. Projects active, on hold, and new, what, why, and how. As you're working out through your plan, get down the what. Then you can kind of work on your why and your how as you go. If you already know them, get them down, get it written down, get things broken down as small as you can make them, makes your planning easier. But get down your what and you can think about it. It's okay. You can have that little bit of time, right? Let's see, Rita. Officially launched my YouTube channel, countdown shorts and posts on social media, beta comments and revisions for there. Finished draft of Maple River, live with Jenna with her self-care, and published there too. Ooh, love that. Okay, guys, let's populate our plan with our projects and figure out what it is that we want to tackle this week. And as Rita does, she alternates, which is really powerful. And I actually am thinking of maybe trying that on one aspect and see if that's easier and takes some of the stress off of it. Okay, guys, and go. Elizabeth, another thing that happened is that on Thursday, after almost 4 weeks have gone by since I got the blood work done, I got the results online. 4 weeks? If you can't say anything nice, wow. Wow, that's insane. Um, I'm sorry, hon. Rita, this week, Lear, next batch of chapters out. Nexus edits for low energy days, Witches continue with the notes, and one more chapter for revisions. YouTube shorts and posts on Instagram. Beautiful. Love that. Okay, our next one is really the easy one. This is the one that is pretty normal to all planning, and that's our important dates. The one thing we do differently is we look at the next 2 weeks because we know that we want to see what's coming at us. We don't want to be surprised and find out Sunday night that we need to do something for Monday that we're not ready for. We don't do that here. So we look 2 weeks ahead. Elaine, need to finish this current book, and then I'm launching to this month. You've got this, hon. You've got it. Deep breath. You are so set. You've done the work. You're there. Okay, guys. So I'm going to bring up Google Calendar for this. Bring up whichever monthly calendar that you like that has all your information and all your details. And let's plan our important dates for the next 2 weeks. So we're going to be going from the 2nd to, what is it, the 15th? I think it's the 15th. 15th or 16th? Hold on, let me verify that. 15th. Okay. Elizabeth, I may schedule an appointment to discuss results with the GI doctor since I don't know what to do with these results since I've never heard of this thing until I saw it came up in my blood work. Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely book that appointment. Get that done. Okay. All right, guys, important dates. Let's bring out our monthly calendars, whichever one you prefer. And let's figure out now if there's any, you want to know any travel times or action steps that you may have to take, any prep that may have to be done. If there's a confirmation that's needed, make sure you're checking your emails to make sure that gets checked off and done and your appointment does not get lost. And if there's any paperwork, get it done before your appointment. That way it's finished, ready to go, and put it someplace you won't forget it when the appointment rolls around. And go, guys. Okay, then we're gonna look at the next week. Oh my. Life is about to get complicated, guys. Very much so. That is rhythmic. I'm gonna have to keep filling that in afterwards. Bigger than I thought. Schedule is about to get a little crazy. Oh, that's why it's spelled wrong. That's what's bugging me. Like my pen won't work. No, it's because I can't write. Okay. So what did you guys come up with? Stephanie, gotta run, everyone. Thank you. You are so welcome, hun. Have a good week, everyone. Definitely you do. Lane, doc appointment coming up for partner. Upload deadlines for 2 books. Launch checklist stuff for 2 books. No birthdays or other commitments. Thank goodness. Yeah, you wouldn't have time for them, huh? Elizabeth, I googled it, and if my conclusion from the info I gathered online is correct, then it would make sense why the genetic testing for celiac disease came back negative. There is a rare disorder that mimics celiac disease. Oh, really? I still can't eat gluten since I do get sick when I do, but it seems like there is some bowel issue that hasn't fully healed even with a strict gluten-free diet. Oh, interesting. Yeah, definitely investigate. Okay, it's not a simple one. Not the celiac is a simple one, but you know. Rita, library meeting and programs, text about story writing for the local kids, Double Down Day. Yes, guys, we have next Saturday is our Double Down Day, so schedule in more writing for yourselves. And family Thanksgiving on Sunday. Beautiful. All right, guys. Our next panel is supporting tasks. So these are all those normal little things that we do on the daily, weekly, and monthly to keep ourselves organized and sheltered and fed and all the good things. Chores, errands, meal planning, exercise plan, admin tasks. Now, both the meal planning and the exercise planning and the business planning, they only work if you take it from planning to action steps. So make sure you're incorporating that, right? Admin tasks, banking, bill due dates, insurance, planning daily and weekly, and your live sprints that you want to attend, and batch together tasks together so that they can be they can better serve you. Let's see, Elaine. Oh, Double Down Day, forgot about that. And of course, only do what you can, right, guys? Candace, thanks, Tracy, and everywhere. Oh, and thank you for hanging out with us, hun. Okay, guys, 2-minute timer, and we're gonna dive on in to our supporting tasks and our little laundry list of all the little things that we need to get done and during the week. And go. Six. Yes. Hmm. Oops. I never actually. What happened? That was weird. Oh, it has already been on. My bad. All right. Okay. Okay. So, what did you guys come up with? I have to see. Yeah, I do have to go there. Not that I want to. I need to make a trip to Costco this week. I'd rather not, but yeah, no. And Amazon returns. And Walmart as well. Okay. Okay. Let's see, Elizabeth, I plan to go to the phone store tomorrow after work. Love that. Elaine, I do need to do a meal plan for this week, which I'll try to get done later today. I also need to get this tax done this week, which I'm sure will not be as big a deal as I'm making it in my own mind. Yeah, that's what I did last year. They were easier than I thought, so, and more miserable and tedious in another way, but those that I hadn't even thought of. Rita, normal stuff this week, but also set up Trello for Q4. Nice. Phyllis, are we going back to 3 p.m. planning sessions next week? Nope, we're going to keep the 6 p.m. Because it works nicely to finish out the day, and also it is allowing me to recover, which is nice, and I personally like the feel of it. I enjoy it quite a bit. So it works at the same time frame, but it's just easier to execute in a weird way. I'm not sure why, but it does. So we're going to keep the 3 p.m. for writing sprints and 6 p.m. for the planning sessions. Let's see, Elizabeth, I also plan to do a bit of organization in my room this week. I also am going to wake up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow, so I can be ready to leave the house at 6 a.m. so I can do some parallel parking practice before I leave for work at 6:30. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, guys. Let's see. So our next section is the protagonist. You. The character who drives the action. Without you, there would be no story. There would be no need to plan because you're the one in charge. You're the one taking control of the situation and getting what you need done, and getting others to understand what is important to you and what you need in order to achieve your goals. We're making ourselves priority number one here, guys. Elizabeth, is this change with live streams going to be long term or just be shorter term? I want to try it at least, I think, for this quarter. And partly because we're heading into the months of me having no immune system, I tend to not enjoy the following winter months. So I want to at least try it for this quarter and see if it allows me to have a little more flexibility, because unfortunately with the planning, I can't really, there is no way to really have any flexibility on it. Where the writing sprints, I can make them shorter. I can change the times at which the sprint times we run, anything like that, depending on how I'm feeling. So, but with the planning, it's kind of an all or nothing, right? So I want to try it for this quarter and see, because so far it feels really, really good. And I will definitely check it with you guys and see how you guys are doing as well. Let's see, I am my biggest distraction at this point, along with this chest pain being a distraction since it lowers my energy. Oh yeah, majorly. Let's see, Crystal, I can't wait for the world to experience my story. Oh, I love that. Yes, all the confetti and stars too, hun. That is fabulous. It's an amazing feeling. You would love it. Candace, gotta go. Happy planning. You too, hun. We will make sure you get your planning done afterwards. Finish it up. We're almost at the end, guys. Okay, guys. Have a good week to everyone who is heading out, and let's continue with the protagonist. Misbeliefs. What bad choices have you been making that are affecting your overall health, energy, and concentration? Goal, make one small change this week. As always, the example is switching sugary drinks for drinking water, but you do what works for you. Last week, I decided to back off on my chip habit, which I love, but I decided it was not doing me any favors. So I changed it down to just I can have one bag in a week, and that is it. And I can have no more. It sucks because I don't get variety, but at least this way I am having just a tiny bit. And that's what I'm hoping to continue with. That way I have to make that bag go for the entire week. And thus, instead of having a bowl, I have a bowl, right? Okay, guys, 2-minute timer, and let's figure out what small change you're going to be making this week for your overall health and well-being. And go. Okay, what did you guys come up with? Candid. Oh no, Elizabeth, I have been making the bad decision to overthink and be perfectionistic, and I'm going to stop doing that and just write as well as I can. Line editing comes after the rewrite is done, not during. I know, and it's. I literally just took a handwritten page and realized that I had a much better idea which I could go with, and it is so annoying to do it in handwriting is that I tend not to do it, but because it moved the plot forward so much nicer and with a nice clean subplot, that I went back and changed things back by the last few paragraphs before, and I'm like, this is uncomfortable. In this case, it is worth it, but it is really good for keeping you from going and doing that. Exactly. Elizabeth, I will keep journaling and not miss days since I know how to restart the 366-day streak. Yes, I want to keep. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Yes. Even if it's for 5 minutes, journaling just gets those thoughts out of our heads and gets it down on paper where we can work through it, right? Elaine, I need to cut out the lollies and the junk this week. Got a bit out of control last week under the stress of deadlines. Yes, part of your reset week. Elizabeth, the sinus infection cost me my daily journaling streak, but I'm not going to be mad about it. It was only a few days. I didn't journal last month, so it's not too bad. That's good. So today is day 1, and I'm going to discipline myself not to break the daily habit for any reason. And give yourself a minimum time. That way you can, even if you're not feeling up to it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you feel like kind of is a good amount. Give that as your minimum, and then you can always be working at that, right? Rita, reminders, naps, quiet time, daytime reading are all self-care. Even some TV watching. I need more outside time. Walks every day. Whew, love that. Yes, the walks every day. Because of COVID makes breathing harder, so I fell off on my steps, but I'm getting back on them because I kind of missed them already, and I still got more than I would have, but not what I've been doing. So if that's so, I didn't feel quite up to it. Okay, guys, our next panel is one of my favorites, new skills. Why this? Why now? Do you have to apply for it or just simply purchase it? What does your reading study time look like? Your practice time and your evaluation. And let's proceed. Oops, get on in there with figuring out what new skills we're bringing in or continuing and what they now look like, what piece of the puzzle you're working on. Okay, guys, and go. Mm. Question eight. Oh, it says on the mod. Okay, so I need readings. Okay, let's see. What did you guys come up with? Elizabeth, I feel like if I write a small amount in my journal in the morning, I feel better. Exactly. Phyllis, continue to schedule wellness days, focus on self-care, continue journaling and morning pages. Also plan for longer vacation later this year. Thank you for the reminder on the morning pages. Put that in there. There. Let's see. Also plan for longer vacation later this year. I love that. Elizabeth, I also want to get some exercise this week. Take it easy though, little by little. Phyllis, new skills revision class scheduled. Thanks for the reminder to plan for practice recap time. Ah, beautiful. You are so welcome. Elizabeth, I am going to continue to journal for my well-being and remind myself how much better I feel if I journal something at all in a day instead of not doing it one day or multiple days. Yes. What is the difference between morning pages and morning journaling? Probably not a lot because it's just for free writing. So it's basically whatever you need it to be. So really not a lot. I don't, the morning pages are from The Artist's Way, but she's not she's not truly specific as to what shape they take. So I think they're the same thing personally. Rita, formatting, learn to use Google Docs better. Canva, that's beyond Instagram posts. Video editing, find a software. Beautiful, love that structure. Yeah, I realized I had to go through, if you saw me scrolling on my phone trying to figure out where the page was for the course and see what exactly they are how the information is delivered. Okay, videos, that was easy, but beyond that, what else am I going to need to do, right? Including determine which system I want to have this on, because do I want this to be on my, am I going to be one to use my iPad for this, or am I going to be sitting more centered at my computer? Which one I would rather do. Phyllis Morning Pages is based on The Artist's Way. It is 3 pages. That's true. It is the 3 pages. Stream of consciousness. Journaling could be any length. There's that exactly. Perfect. Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Phyllis. Elaine, trying to figure out a better release workflow. Is something out of order? Make your checklists and then basically shift things around. Elizabeth, I have thought about reading The Artist's Way and doing this weeks next year in February, since life shouldn't be as busy then. Exactly. February is a wonderful month for taking in new things. Okay, guys. Self-care. Refill the well with your favorite activities, getting outdoors, trying something new, journaling, and reading. Schedule in your self-care. You deserve it and you need it. And you know my rule, at least 50% written into your schedule. Okay, guys, let's dive in and make a list of the all these self-care options that we have, and even little notes maybe of when you might want to do them. And go. Okay, let's see. What did you come up with? Elizabeth, I was recommended a video on YouTube today where someone discussed the book. I then decided I wanted to read it at some point. It's a good book. You'll enjoy. I read it about, oh, a long time ago. I can't even pinpoint it anymore. Very long time ago. Fabulous reference. Elaine, I'll be getting back to regular gym going, and I'll be playing a lot more video games in October because my favorite franchise releases a new game. Oh, that's cool. Yes, guys, games. I should have that on the list. Why don't I have that on the list? Let me fix that. Let's see. I'm going to say play games because, face it, it can be, that can be video games, card games, board games, whatever, right? Play games, have fun, and enjoy, right? And the idea is to make life fun and refill the well and make yourself feel good. Okay. Okay, guys. Yes, I want to get back to playing City Skylines, which I have not been doing, but hey, life. Get sick, you don't get as much time. It becomes rest and recovery, right? All right, guys, our rising action, stage 6, all the events that happen in a story on the way to the climax. The climax is going to be our outcomes, our successes, our moving ourselves forward to success in the in with our writing, with our creative endeavors, with our business endeavors. But we're going to get there by taking action. All right, guys. So deep focus. What goal will you focus on per session? Think in blocks of 2 to 3 hours. This is those really nice deep focus times. What is your agenda for these sessions? So break it down, give yourself a little mini agenda as if you're like running a meeting. And that way you know that put your breaks in there. Well, keep your breaks short. This is deep focus, but getting up and moving around for 5 minutes is good for your body as long as you don't distract yourself and not get back to the deep focus. Right? So this is we're going to just define what it is that looking at my schedule, I think Monday is going to be all about HB90. And then kind of want Thursday I'm unsure about, but Friday I want to make all about writing. And I know that Saturday will also be all about writing, and then maybe a little bit of video work in there. So again, if you want to just put down the initials from Monday through Sunday, and then kind of figure out where your deep focus days might fit in there, given your schedule and where you can really dive on in and go. Okay, what did you come up with? Elizabeth, yes. Elaine, playing games is super important, all kinds. Oh, yes. Elizabeth, Wednesdays will be a day where I have deep focus since Melissa's live stream time on Wednesday works well with my schedule. I love that, incorporating the two. Elaine, I'm trying to keep work generally to the first part of the day and knocking off around 3 or 3:30 because I start very early most days and then I can do what I like for the rest of the day. I love that. Beautiful, beautiful strategies. Let's see. Elizabeth, Friday evenings also may or may not be deep focus times as well with Jana's sprints. I like that. I like that you're incorporating it with something that is already established so that you're for sure going to be able to do it and get it done. For me, Tuesdays have become definitely more chaotic and kind of more pinch days. Wednesdays, I'm going to have to start. I was scheduling stuff on Wednesdays before. I think I now need to maybe move that and incorporate into the Tuesday plans from now on going forward and let that chaos, trim out the chaos and let it stay into the pinch days of insanity, which is fine. And then go from there. Okay, guys, finally, the outline. This is where we get to play with our weekly and plan everything else out. Create your master plan ideal week. Because face it, right now this is a plan. As we execute, we're going to find out some things take shorter time, some things take longer, some things are going to get pushed around. But this is just giving our week some shape so that we are ready to tackle it. And we kind of have our times blocked out, even if we have to move things around. We're going to create Monday's plan, including our top 3. You're going to populate your planner. You're going to schedule your self-care, your mental health, and buffer days. And as you create your outline for the week, can you successfully manage to do everything you've chosen with the time you have? Once you kind of get it on paper, it looks a little crazy, and you can see that things are going to take longer than you think. And then you kind of adjust to that. You can trim things back a little bit. Instead of doing a 2.5 hour block, you do a 2-hour block or something, right? And make adjustments as needed. Let's see. Phyllis, deep focus, writing, Saturday, later afternoon, evenings, planning, Sunday evenings, morning pages daily. Beautiful. Rita, Monday, library tasks for the morning and YouTube and Instagram tasks. Rest I have all day for the writing. I like that. Very nice. Elizabeth, Saturdays can be a deep focus day too, since I don't have to go to my day job on Saturdays. I like how you've broken that down. Very nice. Okay, Elizabeth, also Sundays will continue to be my day off from working. I go to church on Sundays and like keeping Sundays as the Sabbath day of rest. 6 days of work and 1 day of 6 days of work and 1 day of work doesn't actually. Yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah. And you keep it light, you keep it focused, you keep it on what you want it to be. Result in me getting less done than working all 7 days of the week. Yes, exactly. Okay, guys. So as always, celebrate your successes, your gold star moments, and your best fixes. How will your story end? Enter this new world and create the ending you want. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. 1 day of rest. Yeah, I was kind of going like, what should I do there? Yeah, and just thank you guys for hanging out with me. The nice thing that you get to take a nice little break now. You can go and refresh your water or your favorite beverage. Come back to your desk, put your washi tapes, your stickers, your different markers, whatever you want, your highlighters, tombos, and just start decorating up your planner and creating that ideal week and your top 3s and your focus days, and just get everything down on paper so you can have an amazing week ahead. Let's see, Elaine, I have to bounce to go to the gym, but thank you for the planning session, everyone. Have a great week. You too, Elaine. Elizabeth, I have felt less stressed since I kept Sundays to a day of rest. Exactly. Phyllis, thanks for the planning and sprints this weekend. You are so welcome, hun. Crystal, I have the week totally planned. I purchased a to-do list that is pre-filled with top 3 priorities, a for tomorrow list, a don't forget section, notes, and of course slots with check boxes. Oh, beautiful. I also printed Sarah's Preptober workbook, and I'm going to buy a super cute binder to put it in. Awesome. Love that. Well, thank you guys. Go kick back, relax. Just take a little tiny break, get up, move around, and then get back to your planning so you can jump into next week and get everything done. Hey guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Bye.